glad you're here with us. I am Ann Brennan. This
And I'm
is,
Anastasia Van Greshby.
and we're Marketing Moms. By the way, just in case you guys haven't watched this before, why are we marketing moms instead of marketing moms?
Oh, because I'm Australian and I refuse to be called a mom. I have always told my kids whenever they've slipped up and said mom. Actually, that didn't happen after kindergarten, really. They'd say mom and I'd be like, excuse me, what's my name? And they'd be like, mom, mommy.
Mom, mommy. So,
I
all
moved
right.
to this country, but I'm like, I am a mom.
You
So,
are a mom. There you go. And by default, I get to be, at least for this show.
well, you lived in
So
England for a little bit, so we're going to claim that.
I did, exactly. I did for 3 years, and that was great. I was thinking a lot about England this weekend. We'll talk about that after the show. I want to talk about subscribing. So go to YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to the podcast, and leave us a review. Honestly, would really like that a lot. We're live right now. We're not always live. Sometimes we cheat. We go live, but we're not really live. We recorded it. But today we're actually live because, quite honestly, last week was a mess and we didn't have time to record. So we're live right now, which means you can ask us questions. You can leave them in the comments. And it's a good time to do that because the truth is, Reels and TikTok are just blowing up. And I'm sure you have 1,000 questions. So I want you to do that. But let's talk about Luna.
Yes.
I have to tell you what has happened to Luna. The poor thing, right here on her lip, she has a bloody spot, like a blood blister. Because I gave her this toy, and I'm not going to tell you the name of the toy because I don't think it's the toy's fault. I gave her this toy, and I had peanut butter in it, and it's not a Kong. And she dug in there so much that she hurt her lips, and now she has to be in her crate because she bleeds all over the darn place because it keeps breaking open. So I know it's horrible. But she did have training yesterday, and she was so good. He was like, "I'm not sure you need me anymore." I was like, "Yeah, come back next week." So
That's a good joke right there.
exactly.
Sure I haven't seen her for a while, so I'm sure she's very, very good. But
she's not. She's
a
really bad.
puppy. Like
So
training forever.
exactly, and she's 6 months old and 100 pounds. And right now she's just at counter height, so she can see everything that's on the counter. So the other day she ate all of the tomatoes that were on the counter, or tomatoes that were on the counter. I know. She knocked over my eggs and ate those. She's a lunatic. She's a mess. So anyway, all right. So we're going to talk about Reels and TikTok today. And do you want to tell everybody what I have said for the last 2 years about it, specifically TikTok?
Well, you just didn't believe it. You thought it was going to be a fad, something that wasn't going to stick around, and couldn't see how to implement in business successfully.
Yeah.
Not that you couldn't use it, you could use it, but you like how would you use it? So
Right. Exactly. And to be fair, from my standpoint, you can't do TikTok and have, for the most part, not in a way that's going to be reasonably priced. You cannot have your agency do TikTok for you.
No.
So for me, I'm like, I'm not going to talk you into doing TikTok because you're already not doing Facebook and you're already not doing Instagram. You're not doing social media. So if I say, oh, you have to post on TikTok every single day, which you do, then it's hard to talk people into it.
And to be fair, I feel that our clientele who, they're just like, here's my social media. I want you to take it and run with it. And for the most part, they don't even want to know. Like, they're like, just do it.
Exactly.
And with TikTok, you really have to find somebody who's going to be not necessarily one person, but you need to have like people that are willing to be in front of the camera and willing to, be the company on TikTok and actually do it. So
yeah,
that's a very difficult thing when for most of the people that we have, they're like, I don't want to be on the camera. They don't even want to come up with something, so it is
right.
It's definitely I don't think that you were completely wrong. I think that for our clientele who we've had so far, actually we do have a couple of people who are getting into it. So
well, and I have to say, the truth is that we say all the time that if you're a realtor, maybe go on LinkedIn because most realtors are on Facebook. They think that's where their people
Mhm.
are. They forget that there aren't many realtors on LinkedIn. So go over there, right? We say be where some other people aren't so that you can stand out. So TikTok, it makes it does make sense, but it also made sense for me to say you're not going to be able to do it, right? Or it's not going to work for you. But well, I'm backtracking because there are two stats that matter. We talked about, you can talk to this a lot because we've talked about it a lot, and you're the one that brought it up with our clients. What are the two stats that matter the most?
So engagement and impressions or views of your posts. These are
Exactly.
things that one big takeaway, and I think we've already talked about this over the videos that we've done about social media marketing world, is that everybody's talking about everybody cares about the vanity metrics, right? They really care about how many likes do I have? Oh, like what is how many page likes, how many image likes, all those things, but they don't matter. And people
Right.
aren't doing it as much because they don't have to go to your page. They're not liking your page. Because if you're engaging with their content in your feed, then more of that content's going to show up. So you don't
Exactly.
need that anymore. I feel like maybe those page likes were more important when the AI wasn't as sophisticated. And I mean, it's been sophisticated, but I feel like now it's kind of
Yeah.
narrowed down more, and they really are paying attention to what you're looking at. So
Yes.
because you're looking at certain content, they're going to show more of that to you,
Right. So
especially
you don't,
con-
before you had to like a page, you had to like the page if you wanted to see it again, right?
yeah.
You had to like it. Now
Mhm,
you don't. Facebook knows. As a matter of fact, sometimes I think it knows too much because I'm like, that's really not what I want to see, right? I'm
mhm,
going on TikTok and what I keep seeing are funny things. Well, the reason is because I keep watching the funny things because they're funny. But
mhm,
what I really want to see more of is how to run a business or how to be a better runner or things like that. But I'm not watching those, and so they're not showing up, right?
mhm,
Um, but it is all about what you're looking at most. That's what they're going to show you. So you don't really need people to come and like your page. That's not the point.
mhm.
Right, that's not what we're getting anymore, and that's not how people are acting.
And the thing is that those vanity metrics are things that really other people are seeing. But if you are looking in the back end, looking in your insights, or if your agency's looking at it, they can tell you. Like we know how many. We had one client who was there, like, my page isn't growing enough, and then we showed them the back, and we're like, a lot of people are seeing your stuff. Like
You're getting like 30,000 impressions a month,
so,
for a little teeny tiny restaurant in a little
yes.
teeny tiny town.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
So
yeah,
there are things that you need to be looking at, and the vanity metrics are out. The engagement and the impressions and views are what you should be paying attention to.
absolutely, absolutely. So, one of the benefits of having an agency is that the agency can test the waters for you for anything new, and that's what we're doing. Actually, it's what I'm doing.
Mhm,
And I will tell you, it has taken me a lot of time. Every day, I'm spending time, and to be fair, I am using Zane as my guinea pig as well. So I'm doing mine because I'm older. How does it react to older people? Is it something that somebody who is not some hot little mama out there can get away with, right? Um, I'm older, I don't have the whole hot body thing going on. I can't just say, hey, look at me. I'm something else to look at. That's not it. So is it going to work for somebody like me? And then I'm using Zane from the music standpoint. So we're putting some of his stuff up and we're testing both of them, which means that every day I'm posting something for each of us.
mhm.
And I'm doing that because of the one thing we keep saying matters the most, which is consistency. If
Yes.
you are not posting consistently, you're missing out. And the truth is, what we're finding on TikTok in particular is you need to post multiple times a day. It's a lot like Twitter. And videos aren't just, I know it's an 8-second video, but it took me an hour to create the darn thing,
Mhm,
right? Even the simple ones takes me an hour to create. So I'm testing the waters for you. We'll be able to tell you how it's working. Right now, what do I have, about 2 weeks into it?
yeah.
So it's not a lot. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes and then we'll report back.
I do want to mention one thing that we learned at Social Media Marketing World is that if you're looking at TikTok as, oh, I'm going to make all this money, TikTok is not the place that you're going to make money. These,
Oh,
it was staggering the the lack of these guys that are on TikTok that are doing really, really well in terms of views and
Like millions and millions and millions of
millions and
views.
millions, and their check was like 15,000 for like their entire time on TikTok. And I
Right.
was just shocked by that, because you think of, and I've seen some of the back end, like behind the scenes, like making of these TikTok videos. So when I saw those, and I'd seen those before going to social media marketing world, so when those numbers came up on the screen, my mind went to that warehouse that this, I can't remember the guy's name. He has a whole warehouse and a whole staff where all they do is make videos. And
Right.
so I was like, man, that doesn't even cover the equipment that they're using, you know?
Right.
And
Right.
you think
Yeah.
that's not even a good I mean, that's not even a high-end camera, you know? So
Exactly. So, and just creating the content. I mean, the thing is that you're not going to make money for just creating the content. But what sold me on TikTok in particular was the fact that it's a whole new audience. Most of the people who follow me there now, which is not a lot, just so you know, go follow me there. What am I over there? And does social. I'm
yeah.
over there as and does social. And I don't have a whole lot of followers, but very few of them are people who I know.
Mhm.
Whereas on Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook, they're all people that I know, like from they're kind of like all the same. It's incestuous, right? The
Mhm.
people who follow me on Twitter also follow me on Instagram and also follow me, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. That's not happening on LinkedIn, on TikTok. It's new people. So
Yeah.
that I like that a
And
lot.
I'm definitely not saying that, like, I think TikTok, everything has to be used in the intention that is, like, you need to be intentional on how you're using things. So that's why I was saying you cannot rely on it. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to make all this money, because, back in the day, I mean, I think YouTube still is a good income stream for a lot of people, but
Right.
TikTok is nowhere near the
What you
money that
said.
that
No.
people are making on TikTok, and still are. I mean, I'm sure there are people that still make, there's that little boy who sells his own, toy line now because he used to open toys and review them. So
Exactly.
there's
Exactly.
there's things on there, but look at TikTok. TikTok's definitely good, and like Ann said, you're looking for a new audience, for
Exactly.
your product. A
Well,
big
and you have to sell your product, right? You can't just go on there and hope people are going to buy what you sell. So I've been doing a lot, just to be fair to everybody. First of all, I'm not going on there right now to sell. I actually kind of reverted back to the Ann's Running Commentary, which was my old blog. And so I'm giving tips and tricks about life in general, about being a business owner, about staying sane. I think my first one or my second one that I did was about how to be, if you want to be a better business owner, better mom, a better spouse, a better person, then go for a walk.
Mhm.
Because if you're not taking care of yourself, so it's very Ann's Running Commentary and not, hey, come buy my
Yes,
agency,
it's not
right?
that mattresses, it's the giving, right? So
Exactly.
you're using the platform as a giving tool. Like, this is where,
Exactly.
so you're building your audience to trust you, to like you, and to know you, know, like, and trust.
Exactly.
That's what we're talking about. So it's not about necessarily, um, this business and growing it. It's about your personal brand, and increasing awareness of you and what you have to offer. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to talk about the stats because you still might not be sold. And here's the thing, I'm not currently using it to sell, but I probably will once I build my audience and I have enough people there to say, oh, because I'm watching people sell right now. I have to be honest. Let's talk about this. I'm watching people try to sell their agency stuff on there and they have 100 followers. And I'm like, no, I am not going to try to sell my agency on there until I have a whole lot of followers and can say, see, here's the proof. Here's the proof right here that
mhm.
I know what I'm doing because I have this many. But right now, I don't know what I'm doing on TikTok. I'm testing it. I'm seeing, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? So when I know what I'm doing on there, when I figure out that I have this special sauce, which by the way, I'm going to go back to this real quick. Go back to this. The special sauce isn't all these tips people are giving you. It's not fool the algorithm this way or fool the algorithm that way. It's hard work. It's the same thing that life is. It's about being consistent all the time, being consistent, right? It's about working hard. I'm that is the hard. That's the secret sauce. You
Mhm.
have to keep doing it. But I'm not going to go and say I have the secret sauce until I keep doing it and build that.
Mhm.
Right. So I do think you could sell. I think plumbers would be great on there. We're going to talk about why. I think electricians, if you're the right kind of electrician, if you're right in this field and can put yourself out there this way, I think you have a huge opportunity. But you've got to put yourself out there, and you got to work with somebody who can. Like, one of the things, we can't do it for you, but we could give you the list of, these are the videos we want you to create, these are the things we want you to do, and we could work with you on that,
Yeah.
right? But I do think you can make money on TikTok for your business, just not as a creator. That's not where you're going to make the money. It's going to be for your business that you're going to make the money. So let's talk about stats. This one was amazing to me. TikTok was the most downloaded app of 2021. That is amazing when you think about all the apps that are out there, and you think about Google, and you think about Safari. I mean, the apps that you have to have,
Yeah.
right? You have to have them, and it was the most downloaded. Um, but it was the most downloaded, but no user demographic reports that TikTok is its favorite app. So I thought that was really interesting too, especially because a lot of the people who are on TikTok seem to be very dedicated.
Mm.
They seem very dedicated. But one thing that I saw is that 0.1% of people, and this is equal for TikTok and for Reels, 0.1% of people are only on Reels or only on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
0.1%. So they're also using other things.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's really important for you to remember. We say that all the time. You want to be where your people are,
Yeah.
right? And you also want to be where people might not expect you, just because you're going to get a different audience. But don't be on one app. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
That's just stupid.
I think a lot of people are refusing. I mean, they're denying that TikTok is their favorite app because they don't want to admit it, right? Especially
I
old.
think that's right.
It's like, oh, it's for the kids, but then they get sucked in to
Oh,
their,
you totally get sucked in.
yeah.
Oh, it's really, I'm like, I spend a lot of time on it right now. And I keep saying it's for work, but I'm laughing my butt off. I'm literally laughing my butt off. All right. So TikTok has 1 billion monthly users. So if you think your business can't find an audience there, I think you should think again. 1 billion monthly users, you're going to find an audience there. And it's the seventh most visited site in the world. So it's gaining traction. It is still, I think, sixth overall when you look at the social media. It's still way down there.
Mm.
People are spending more time on the other ones, but that means you're at the beginning of the curve, right?
Yeah.
The only downside I see, the only thing that I see, is that people who are younger don't, and I did read this as well. People who are younger don't want to be mainstream. They like to be on the edge. So what I read was that if TikTok were to shut down, that that audience would not go to Instagram. It would look for the next thing. So this is the same audience that, honestly, it's the same audience that was on Snapchat,
Yeah.
right? They left Snapchat, they went to TikTok. Whatever is next is where they're going to go next. So you do have to keep up with them and see where they're going. And this was the other thing that I had to ask my little Alexa device over there. What is Gen Z? 27 years and younger. I don't know about you. Anastasia, when did you buy your first house?
22.
22. I
Mhm.
was 24. So 27 is there. If you're a plumber or an electrician, or restaurants or clothing lines or anything, really, 27 is old enough.
Yes.
You've got people between the ages of 20 and 27 who are spending money. It's no longer that, oh, this is the kids. Yes, there are kids in that group, right?
Yeah.
But you've got a whole lot of people who are 22 and above, or 20 and above, and between 20 and 27. That's a big group of people who you could be
That is a
reaching
big
by being
group
on
of
TikTok.
people. I mean, I was talking with a lady this past weekend whose son is 19 years old, and he is going to community college. He's actually working at Starbucks, but he lives at home. And she's like, yeah, in 2 more years, he'll have she's like, because he's saving all of his money. She's like, no, another year. She said, in another year, he'll have enough money saved up to buy a house. That's a 20-year-old
Yeah.
buying a house.
Yeah.
Another guy was telling me how his 24-year-old son, who is married with 2 children, owns a house near here. So I think that there's gonna be the people. There are people in the younger demographic in their early 20s that are getting married and having kids, and because everybody's like, oh, everybody's waiting. Not everybody's waiting. So not everybody is going to college and spending 4 or 5 years and then coming out and living back at home. Not everybody's doing that. So especially depending on where you are. If you're in an area where it's very expensive to live, yeah, maybe your children after college will come back and live at home just to kind of get their footing. But not everybody does. I mean, you have 2 grown sons, and they're both living on their
On
own.
their own. Yeah, absolutely. They're spending
And
money.
they're still, and
Ethan's looking at,
they're both Gen Z, right?
right. They're both Gen Z.
They're both Gen Z.
Exactly.
They're both Gen Z.
Exactly.
They're both working full time. And whether or not you're buying a home or renting a home, there are things that apply to you. You're a grown up, you know. You
Exactly.
own a
Exactly.
car.
That's what I was about to say. They're buying cars, they're buying clothes, they're buying.
Yeah.
Right? It's what they're doing.
Yeah. They're buying jewelry.
So yeah, there you go. So yeah, you have to pay it's really easy to dismiss them. Oh, that's Gen Z that's on there. But TikTok is really valuable. Now, let's go over and talk real quick about Reels because I think Reels jumped in on this. I think it made sense for them. They did a lot of the stuff that was going on Snapchat. They put on they took over. They did stories instead, right? And they keep doing things when there's something that's doing well, they copy it. Now, I think that's mostly not to gather these people who are young and aren't going to come to them, but to keep from losing the people who are there.
Yes.
Right. And so it's important to remember that it's not you probably won't reach the Gen Z. If you're trying to reach those guys, they're not on Instagram Reels. But a lot of people are there and they are very similar to what's on TikTok.
I think they're still on Instagram a lot too. I mean, Instagram is still like TikTok has that big following, but there's also drawbacks, like my kids are not on TikTok, like
Yes.
my oldest she's allowed to have Instagram. I don't like that, there's not a whole lot of filtering on TikTok from a parent perspective. Not that I love Instagram, you know how I feel about Meta, but
Yeah.
I feel that, there are still a lot of people on Instagram. So I wouldn't dismiss it. And I think that them copying TikTok and having these reels, it's going to be, it's definitely something where people are going and looking. So yeah, they copy things. We know that Facebook does that. They copy stuff, and now you can see the reels on Facebook, so you don't even have to go to Instagram to see
Exactly. But just so you know, if you decide to click on it and you want to make a comment, you do have to have an Instagram account. You can't comment on it on Facebook, which is making some of their which is driving some of their Facebook people to Instagram, which is smart actually because Facebook is dying down. So I want to give you my favorite stat I heard about Reels, which is of the 30 NBA teams, 20 of them are on Reels. So only 20. And their engagement since they went on Reels, the engagement has gone up by 22%. So that's why this matters. If we boil it all down, why does it matter? Well, because people are engaged. They're either liking or they're really watching or they're sharing or they're commenting. And that's when you can build relationships with people. And so why does it matter? Yes, it's fun. Oh my God, I'm having so much fun. There's this older lady. She has to be in her 60s and she owns a clothing store for older ladies. And she's got I wish I remembered her name so I could send you guys over to watch her, but she's so cute. And yesterday she's like, I'm too old for skinny jeans, right? And then she puts on her skinny jeans and this all modeling and she's so cute. So really fun. It really is fun. But I bet if I lived in that town, I'd be going to that store to buy those pants, right? Yeah. Because she is fun and she still pulled me in, right? It's a really unique way of getting people to come in. So I know it seems silly. I know it seems like maybe it wouldn't work, but I think If you are a solopreneur right now and you're looking for a unique way to be seen, then try Reels. If you're bigger, if you're like me, I own an agency. Owning an agency, Anastasia doesn't own the agency. She's our COO. She's busy. I'm busy. I don't have time, honestly, for Reels. The only reason I'm doing it is to pay to see how it works so that I can say to my clients, this is how you'll do it. Now, if you own a business and you want to do Reels, I would work with your agency and come up with a strategy of how you're going to do it, what you're going to post on which day, because if you want to make it work, you have to be consistent, right? I mean, that's the most important thing of anything. You have to be consistent. You cannot let it slide or you will not be seen. So,
Definitely. Yeah, it is.
yeah.
That is the, I mean, that's the running theme with everything, right? It's consistency. But it's not just, we're not even talking about social media. In life in general, like
Yeah,
consistency. You're going to work out, consistency. Like
right.
I am on
You're
some
going to
elimination diet right now for my issues that I have, and it's consistency. Like I have to make sure that I am following things, that I'm not giving up every day, which is hard. But
exactly.
it is but that's the thing. You have to have a plan and you have to execute it, and like just stick with it. Because even
Absolutely.
though it's difficult at first, once you get in that habit, it'll become easier.
Absolutely. So yeah, and I find as I'm doing this, I'm coming up with more and more things that I can do. Uh-oh, I've lost Anastasia. Oh, there she's back. It looked like you went to sleep. You had your eyes closed and then it froze. So it looked like you were asleep. But that's, yeah, I think TikTok and Instagram Reels. And here's the thing, and this is why I put these together. If you're going to do Instagram Reels, you're already creating the content.
Mhm.
Go over and put it on TikTok. It is not that hard, but do it consistently. And if you're not going to do it, if you're not sure about it, just say, I'll do it for a month. Do it for a month and see how it works, because I think it will work for you. And if it doesn't, then you've lost a month worth of, a little bit of
You're
work.
already creating it for Instagram. You're like
Exactly.
it's a waste. We always talk about repurposing, right? So you can repurpose that content and put it on TikTok, because
And actually,
then
yeah.
you're getting a different audience.
Yeah. And actually, I should put this here. I didn't do that. Let me create it real quick. Um, because there's actually a third place you can use it, which is YouTube Shorts.
Mhm.
And we haven't done that yet. I will do that. I just needed to kind of get my feet wet and see what's happening and get my mind wrapped around this whole idea. But YouTube Shorts is one of the reasons you want to use it there, is because it's searchable. So you can put in keywords that really bring it up. It's a much better. It's more of a search engine, so it's going to work better for you in some ways. So I would use all three if you have the time to use all three. So it's definitely worth looking at and thinking about. I haven't, Anastasia. Have you looked at our blog today? Because I have no idea what went up.
I have not.
So if you are interested in learning more about social media for your marketing, social media marketing for your small business, first of all, we have all of our videos up there. We have all the podcasts up there, but we also have a new blog that comes out every single Monday. And there's always valuable information there. Did you find it?
Today's is hiring, retention, and social media.
Yeah. And that's huge. Actually, it's really, really important. And it's different than your other marketing. If you are marketing in a way to reach your employees, you have to change your tone of voice. You have to change what you're saying. And I want to go back to something we've talked about a lot, and we can put this in so that we can go back to it. But calls marketing. If you're using your social media marketing to reach your employees, then part of that needs to be your calls. What is the cause that you stand for? And I will tell you, we were recently looking at working with a company that we ended up not working with, because they specifically when we said to them, what is your cause, they blew it off as such, and all of their employees are 30 and under, and
Mhm.
they blew it off. They completely blew it off. They're like, well, we do a canned food drive. Oh, yeah. A lot of people are super into that as their cause. If I'm young, I am like all over that canned food drive. No, I'm not. What do I care about? Find out what your people care about and come up with that.
Yeah.
So, so that I think this particular blog is really important. So go over there and have a look at that. What else, Anastasia, before we go? Anything else we need to tell them?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that we're pretty I think you covered it. Yeah.
Yeah.
TikTok, try
So
it.
yeah, try it. Come follow me. I am Brennan Annie on Instagram, so you can follow me there. My reels are there, and you can also follow me as what did I say?
And a
I
social.
can't remember. Enda Social. Enda Social. That's where I am over there. And that's it. So I hope you guys have a great day. And I did it again, Anastasia. I said, you guys. So let me give you my tip. Anastasia gave me this tip. When you're talking, don't say you guys. Talk to a person.
Mhm.
So maybe I'm going to call my person Sue Ellen. My person I'm talking to out there is Sue Ellen, but talk to that person and as opposed to you guys, because you want to make that person on the other end understand that you're talking to them, right? You're not just talking to the universe, you're talking to them. So that's my last tip of the day. We will see you later. Hope you have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.